Welcome to the Dr. Bo Show, a critical thinking, reason, and science-based approach to issues that matter. Stay calm. Enjoy life. A friend of mine shared a quote that had me thinking for days. Some poor phoneless fool is probably sitting next to a waterfall somewhere, totally unaware of how angry and scared he's supposed to be. I found this quote to be both laugh out loud funny and deep, which is unusual for a quote. I found it to be funny for obvious reasons, and I found it to be deep because it reminds us that optimal well-being is about finding balance. There's an unwritten and unspoken social law that tells us how good a person is positively correlated with how angry they are about the world's injustices. Also, the more injustices one is angry about, the better the person is. This is nonsense. This idea has been reinforced with the oft-cited quote by Eldridge Cleaver, who wrote, "If you are not part of the solution, you are part of the problem." Think about this for a moment. There are literally millions of social issues and injustices. What are you currently doing about child pornography? Nothing? According to Cleaver, you are now part of the problem. But it gets worse. Many people would also have you believe that you are also complicit in child pornography. These groups and organizations are using classic persuasion techniques to spread their message and get followers to their cause. These are the same techniques used by religions throughout the ages: guilt, shame, and fear. Jesus is quoted as saying, "Whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters." Matthew chapter 12, verse 30. The Christian Bible also makes it very clear what happens to you if you are against Jesus, that is, not with him. Guilt, shame, fear. To maintain your own well-being while improving others, stand for something, not for everything. The main problem with trying to be a part of the solution to every injustice you are aware of, besides the constant feeling of anger and terror, is that there are far too many issues for you to be sufficiently educated on each one to know what actions to take that will do more good than harm. As an example, a friend of mine recently posted a list of companies to boycott because they advertised on Fox News, and a guest was on Fox News that said some objectionable things, even by Fox News' standards. My friend thought that they were doing good for liberal justice. But what they did not realize is that one of the companies on the list was Gillette, the same company that was applauded by liberals just weeks before by releasing a controversial commercial addressing toxic masculinity and supporting the Me Too movement. While boycotting sponsors that advertise on programs that have objectionable guests might be seen as a good thing by liberal activists, the boycott, if successful, is likely to hurt their cause far more by affecting the advertising budget of companies whose ads benefit their cause. More common is when political activists are ignorant to the arguments and facts surrounding an issue because they exercise their willful ignorance by refusing to venture outside their ideological bubble. This results in them fighting a highly exaggerated enemy, or worse, an enemy that doesn't really exist. For example, Donald Trump often repeats the false claim about doctors killing newborns. Who wouldn't be against this madness? Who wouldn't be furious if this were really a common practice? The problem is, of course, it's not true, and the average person cannot be expected to research every issue. So rather than remain agnostic on issues, they listen to their side and passionately join in on the outrage du jour about which they are actually ignorant. By pretending you know more than you do about issues, rather than remain agnostic, you pointlessly take on the burden of anger and fear. The world needs more happiness, cooperation, and understanding, not more hatred, anger, and fear. Make the world a better place by choosing issues about which you are passionate And you can devote the time necessary to each issue and become a real expert in the area. Stay calm. Enjoy life. Perhaps one day you can be that poor, phoneless fool sitting next to a waterfall somewhere, totally unaware of how angry and scared you're supposed to be.